the great fallacy of photography nobody seems to get. And here's a perfect analogy, and I can't stand race car driving, however, it is a perfect analogy. You got two people in the race car driving. You got the pit crew, which are like experts on torque ratios and engine manifolds and all that crap, and then you have the race car drivers. And, you know, they are the artistes for driving the machine. The two of those combined make magic gold. You know, you can have the best race car driver in the world, but if the pit crew sucks and they don't keep spare parts and they're not fast at diagnosing and fixing stuff, then, well, that's no good. And vice versa. The best pit crew and the best engine and car in the world, but if the driver's a piece of crap. The same is actually true in photography, except in a different way. And people get these confused. They're constantly debating from either side of the same coin. It's like, I'm debating for the heads, you know, I'm debating for the tails. Like, what about the entire damn coin, you know? There are innately effective artists. These would be the expert artists or the professional experts. They're innately effective. But so far as the tradecraft of the tools and whatnot, they don't really know crap. And that's okay. However, it would be better if they did. Then you have the nerd, the utterly ineffective photographer, but has a correct process, a valid process. Someone who has all the gear in the world and knows how to use it. And yeah, don't point the fingers. Don't you love how my shirt blends into the background? It's kind of like I'm fucking invisible, right? It's like camouflage, man. I'm wearing like a background shirt against an identical background. So you got to combine these two. I mean, to be the best photographer you are, whether you're a hobbyist or professional or an expert, if you combine these two things, the best photographers on earth, the people that I admire, and Dean Collins is dead now, and another one is Joe McNally. I don't particularly like his photography, but he is an expert artist. The thing that these people like Dean Collins, you don't know who Dean Collins is, there's something wrong with you. The thing that these people have in common is that they are both innately effective as far as dreaming up the composition of some sort of weird freaky-deaky photo and then making it come to life. And then the person who is a nerd and process-valid shooter, someone that knows about all the light mods, the best lenses to use. They know everything about. They're not only because the photographer is, you know, an island unto himself or herself, and you know, you can't have a pit crew behind you. The best photographers in the world don't have a pit crew. Well, there actually are some knuckleheads on YouTube that like have some lackeys like packing their gear around. They actually pay to pack people's gear around, and I laugh so hard at that. But you have to be a person that has to know. You know what the correct process is for what your tradecraft is, but also have the innately effective ability to render the composition and master the lighting and the lighting control. So these are the two different arenas of photography. And someone who is innately effective, but you know doesn't really care about the tradecraft tools and you know gear and you know a lot of the other stuff, and you know that's more than good enough. And you have the other person that you know is a ineffective, you know, the ineffective photographer, but is process valid. And that would be like the average working professional photographer, usually a photojournalist, a wedding photographer. You know, they just have these scenarios pinched into their brains, like I gotta take a picture of this, the groom, the wedding, the this and that. And that's just professional working process. That's just process. That's very robotic. It's not artistic. It does get the results that people like. I need I need the correct lighting. I need power packs, and you know they have everything set up, and they know what they need to do, and they get it done. But the person that's actually able to combine those two worlds perfectly and become a master of both, those always turn out to be the absolute best photographers, like Joe McNally and Dean Collins and you know some of these other people. I've got some of the some quite famous photographers have contacted me. Some of them are some shooters for some of the camera companies. I won't say what they are. Some of them are very famous photographers by their own right, and they contact me. I mean, they're very good at being effective artists, but you know, they know I've been testing every lens in the world, and I've got the answers on some stuff. And people that you know, admit what they don't know and go seeking for the answers, they always become better photographers. And you know, they ask me questions by email because they know I know the answer. They know that they're great photographers, and they mean expert artist photographers, but that doesn't really mean, and 99% of the time this is true, that doesn't mean, you know, they know what the best lens is for the new situation that may be entering, you know, because, let's face it, I mean, nobody has time to screw around and dick around with all these lenses and stuff. I mean, nobody does. I mean, I have had, and have, and, you know, that's a resource. And that's why some of these people, you know, contact me. They don't want advice on anything else, but, you know, they know I know that. Everybody has their own skills and trade sets. So photography is an enormous arena that nobody is going to master every section. I mean, it's absolutely impossible. It's just huge. It's just like computers. It's like, well, I'm an expert at computers. Anybody that says they're an expert at computers is a moron. I've met some of the most brilliant genius experts in computers, and even they only are really good at 2 arenas of computers at most, because you have hardware, networking, software, firmware. You know, you've got basically 6 different arenas of photography. I mean, of computers, and the very, very best ones are. You could be a jack of all trades and a master of none. The very, very best ones are basically only a jack of all trades and a master of 1 or 2. The very, very, very best ones. And I've met a couple of the very best ones. They're almost scary. They're so out of touch with reality, however, but nevertheless. So anyway, that's the 2 classes of expert photographers. The ones that are innately effective, but process invalid, but it doesn't matter because only the results matter. And those that are not innately effective, but are process valid. In other words, they have the technique down, but the creativity and the mental generation of the composition and thinking about lighting in terms of its artistic flavor and whatnot does not often register in their brains. So having the best of both worlds, or at least trying to develop the best of both worlds, is certainly important, because all the best photographers have the best of both worlds. So that's it. Thanks for watching. I hope you like my psychedelic shirt blending into the background, and I'll catch you later. Bye. Bum, ba-dum, bum. Ba-dum, ba-dum, bum. Ba-dum, ba-dum, bum. Ba-dum, ba-dum.